Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FortressCraft Evolved, and this is episode 50. I just want to stop real quick and just say I didn't think I'd get to 50 episodes in a series. That's just kind of crazy to me, and I just want to take the time again to thank everybody who watches, everybody who hits that subscribe button. The channel's growing faster than I thought, than I ever thought it would. Really, I do this as a hobby, and just to see the support is really motivating. But back to the video. Today is episode 50, like I said, and that means, ladies and gentlemen, if we look right over here, it's missile time. So, couple things we need to do when it comes to missiles. Number one, so if you can see over here, this is our production area for the missiles. Everything's going nicely. As far as sourcing goes, we've got enough stuff to source all of the material, right? That's not really an issue. One thing I'm a little worried about, though, we've got plenty of iron. That's not an issue. One thing I'm worried about, though, is fuel, right? I want to make sure that our fuel is going to be able to keep up, because once we kind of start charging the OETs, those turbines over there are going to be taking a ton of fuel. And if you look over here, I mean, we're pretty full up over here. I don't know if these are full yet. This is not full yet. That's full. So, I mean, we have quite a bit of backup, but the number one thing, the number one priority that we're going to have is making sure that this process is always fed. Because what happens is, this little offshoot right here is what goes to our missile fueler, right? So, and gives, all the fuel for the missiles. So, what I want to do first off, before anything, is I want to put in some kind of priority splitter. And I think I'm going to get rid of all this glass just to get it out of the way. I want to put in a priority splitter to make sure that the main system, the main line, the main fuel production line is always topped off before we divert anything to missiles. We've got 6,000 missiles in storage, so it's not that big of a deal if we, if this is intermittently crafting missiles. So, yeah, that's something I'm going to do right now. So we're going to just kind of tear this all apart real quick. I'm thinking right there, right? So, right is the priority. Of course. So let me think here. In fact, actually, what if I do something like this? Something like that, right? And I'm going to need to use belts for this, right? So let's kind of do that. And then let me get pipes going over here. Whoa. Okay. Oh, dang it. That's what I don't want to have happen. I don't want it to be drawing from other areas. Crap. Okay. Well, no. Okay, we got this. We got this. Look, this is what we'll do. We'll put the priority splitter here. I'll throw another belt in. And then I will have... Yeah. Okay. We'll do something like that. Oh, wait. I need a belt for that, right? So we'll do that. We'll have those just come straight over. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right? And then what we'll do is we will have this kind of step up, because, okay, and it does feed. Perfect. And we'll just do something like that. So now I know we're going to lose a little bit of throughput because we have this drop to belts from pipes, but it's not a huge deal, I don't think. So this little upgrade will ensure that we have the main system fueled and that our missile fueling system is only an afterthought, which, like I said, is not a big deal, because we have 6,000 missiles. We have a couple more built up. We have a lot of stuff that's just ready to be made into missiles, so that's not a huge deal. Now, there's a couple things that are kind of going on right now, right? So, number one, everything in here gets made into a plasma-imbued missile, I believe, right? Yeah, plasma-imbued missile. So, I don't... Now, there is another another set of missiles we can make. And if I just kind of throw this down, right? And that's the armor-piercing warhead. Now, this thing takes power, and it takes missiles, and it takes pristine stingers. So I had a thought to maybe set this up in such a way that I replace, you know, this crafter right here with well, I guess I'd have to replace these ones. So I'd have to get 2, right? So replace these with the armor-piercing missiles, and then have the plasma missiles go to one side and have armor-piercing missiles go to another. And I might still do that, but my hesitation right now is this infrastructure is kind of all set up to do this, and then there comes the prospect of transporting 2 sets of missiles versus 1 set of missiles. So what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to leave it as plasma imbued missiles for now. We'll kind of see how that goes. And I don't think we need armor piercing in addition to the plasma imbued. But like I said, I'm not 100% sure. So I think I'm going to leave this as is just for now. If this ends up not being able to, if this amount of missiles does not end up being able to sustain, then like we're really screwed. But I think it will. But that is only a minor consideration. So we've got to do 2 different things in this episode. Number 1, we need to figure out how we're going to get these missiles to wherever they're going to shoot from. And number 2, we need to figure out a good way to shoot them off, right? So I worked on something. It's a little prototype. I'm going to go take another look at it, kind of show you guys what I'm thinking about, and, you know, kind of talk through the thought process there. So as you guys can see right here, you know, we're up in the inner ring here that I was going to use for missile distribution. I realized that that's not really, it doesn't kind of, it makes it difficult to transport missiles around, right? Because we're coming from a single source that would have to get split up into 8 different areas. That just, logistically, that just seems like kind of hard. Oh man, look, we are getting attacked over here. But something I was noticing earlier, sorry, I know I'm going on a tangent right now, but I want to show you guys, like, in action, how much battery life we're saving, right? These things still have, they practically don't run out. I've watched them just, like, go on and on for a whole attack and still have battery. So I think that was a good move on our part. I think we're going to have plenty of power. I think it's going to hold up even in a sustained attack. But there's a perfect little segue to right over here. So this is the new little missile platform that I'm kind of playing around with for launching and distributing missiles. So it looks pretty simple. It's just, you know, I tried to kind of center it on the middle here. Did I end up doing that? Yeah, so this right here, this column is, oh, did I center that? Or did I not? I don't think I did. I might have to fix this actually. Okay, yeah. So this line right here is the center, which means I should probably add on another launcher over here. But that actually gives me the perfect opportunity to show you guys, well, how does this thing even work on the inside, right? So let me kind of break this wall down, and you should see some very familiar stuff here. So we have the exact same kind of setup as our things over here. The only difference is you'll notice there's no generators, and there is a belt that comes up right here. So the general gist of what I'm going to do is, in fact, I need to add that on there, and I can remove this and this. And I want to make sure I don't lose those. The general gist is I am going to throw these down here. In fact, I don't need to put that there. I'm going to put a 4th missile turret right there, right? So throw that here. Then what's going to happen is I'm going to have I guess a splitter maybe right here. So I'm going to kind of get rid of this belt, right? And I'm going to have the missiles kind of coming I'm going to do more matter movers, right? So they're going to matter move up and split. You can see these blocks right here, right? So these blocks are the center line between both sets of batteries. So somewhere over in this direction, you know, where there's a line, the line of, or the wall here, I'm going to have an area slightly farther back that's going to have an opening. And I'm going to matter move missiles to these openings. So what that means is I'm going to have to kind of have like a distribution hub, right? So it's going to come up, and then like from here, it's going to have to split left and right. And then from there, it's going to have to feed into, where am I going? It's going to have to feed into the launcher area and then go and feed farther down the line. So that's kind of the plan, right? And then you're probably saying to yourself, well, it looks like it needs power. You're absolutely right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to siphon some power off of one of these, because I don't think the missile launchers take that much power. I don't know how much power they take, but I'm assuming it's not that much. So, in fact, does it say anything about how much power? No, I don't think it takes that much. So we're going to be feeding the missiles up, and I'm just going to have a couple, you know, a couple lasers. Like if I can get power off of maybe even this, maybe even the central ones, you know, just kind of put some lasers right on top of here. And this is kind of nice because if I transmit power at this level, it'll be low enough that it'll come right under any of these belts. So we're not going to have to worry about any of these belts getting in the way. And yeah, we'll have some like floating lasers, but it'll be fine. So then the process would be the power's going to come up, hit the blocks of, in fact, I might not even need this if I can hit both sides with lasers. We'll see how that works out. But maybe I get rid of this. I'll put a turntable right here. The missiles will come up and split in between the two hoppers, and then just, we got 4 missiles launching that way. And it's almost like just another little additional kind of attack tower. You know what I mean? So, you know, we could kind of build that up. We could build that up. And we just do something like that, and boom, we've got ourselves a little missile tower. And I like the idea of putting them here because A, it saves like a lot of logistics for me. I don't have to just like do a ton of logistics to transmit to 8 different towers. But it's also going to be relatively low powered. And if we have to, we can expand this out this way, just like we did here, right? We can just keep going down the line. And then at that point, you know, if we're just launching missiles, you know, at however many a second, and that's still not enough, well, then we'll just ramp up our production and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do first, and I'm kind of digging this design, I'm going to have to move these openings, though, because if we're looking at it, I need that open and that open, right? These aren't as big of a deal to be open. So I'm going to replicate this design in a couple different spots in all the corners, basically. And then I'll kind of bring you guys back as I'm figuring out the logistics on how we're going to get the missiles distributed. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll bring you guys back and kind of show you where we're sitting at. All right, guys, so I've got all the missiles set up in every corner. So now I want to kind of run the power to this whole missile assembly, right? So like I said before, I think I'm going to just come off of, and this will be uniform for all sides, right? I think I'm just going to come off of this battery right here. And I think I'm going to do something like that, right? So we'll do something like that. I need to figure out, because I want to hit this line. So where does that go? Perfect. Okay. So I'm just going to come down. Should just be 1, right? Yeah. Right, so do something like that. Do the same thing, right? Does that line up? Perfect. Do the same thing here, right? And then this, all I need to do is, let me think here. Come down with glass, maybe? Well, okay, so I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to do this. I'm going to come down like that, and then just go up. right? Up and up. And then that should, if everything's working right, that should start powering everything up. Perfect. I guess another consideration, I'll throw lenses on there just in case. I don't think I'm going to need lenses, but I'm going to do it anyway. Just, just in case. And luckily, we still have a little bit of space that we can just get up here and check out how things are going. All right, so it doesn't say how much power they're taking. And again, I think I can get rid of that block in the center, just because I have the two lenses going, right? And it's powering two different sides. Because I want to try to come up. I think I'm going to try to hit. Because if I'm thinking about this, right? If I'm thinking about this geometrically, okay? Let me do this with blocks, right? So imagine the holes here, right? I'm going to do a small scale of everything, right? So these two blocks are going to represent these two lasers that I just put up. Well, if I think about the orientation of the lasers I'm going to put over there, they're going to be kind of like in that pattern. And if I think about the lasers I'm going to put in that corner, they're going to kind of be in this pattern, right? So you guys might see the pattern that I'm talking about here, right? So this means if I have my matter mover set up, right? So somewhere over here in my model is going to be where the missiles are coming from. The missiles are going to be able to come into here, hit a hopper, right? Let's put an actual hopper, split off this way, split off this way. In fact, let's do this, right? They're going to be able to do that. Be able to hit another hopper on each side here, and then split off that way until they hit another hopper, right? And then the way this should work is these two will get filled up first, and then once these are full, they'll backfill up into here. So it's like the overflow method, right? So like this is roughly my plan for how I'm going to run all the lasers. Now, there's two things I need to take into account. Number one, I'm going to be doing this at floor -2 level. So the same level that these are running, because I want to miss all of the stuff that I have on the ceiling. So I need to run one level below that, kind of like I'm doing with some of these other matter movers, right? Like this kind of stuff. So it's not unprecedented to do that. And secondly, I want to make sure, well, I guess this is like 1B, right? I want to make sure that these lines that I'm running don't have any obstructions, because otherwise, it just makes it more difficult. But secondly, I need to also consider, I guess 2A, generating power for this system, and then 2B, transmitting that power to the rest of everything, like to the system that's going to be transporting everything. So I've done that in the past, where I'm just drawing the power from one spot, and I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do that. We'll kind of figure it out. So hopefully this method kind of makes sense to you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to kind of repeat this process for all the four corners. And then I'll bring you guys back when I'm running the matter movers. These signify matter movers, right? So when I'm doing that, I'll bring you guys back and we'll kind of figure that all out together. All right, guys. So now we're ready to start running our missiles. So a couple things we need to take into account here. Luckily, it looks like we're going to have a clear shot down through the heart of everything over here. Yeah, because we need to hit this spot right here. And I hope this lines up. I haven't actually checked it. But if I just run down the line here, we should get to there. Perfect. Okay, so there is going to be a hopper there. There is going to be a hopper over here. Right there, right? So the way this should work, the way I'm intending on this working, let me get my hotbar stuff ready, right? So the way I want this to work is not like that. Let me think. I'll throw that down, right? So that is going to go to that hopper over there. And what I'm thinking is, because there's so much stuff in these two levels, I guess this is the -2 -3 level, I'm going to do the power under. I think that's probably the easiest way to do things. And let me kind of throw some glass right here just so I can place my laser here, my laser energy transmitter. So I want to run this as far as it'll go, minus like 1 or 2, right? So I need to make sure that I'm... Okay, so this is the level that the matter mover is on, right? Actually, I need to go one more in because the laser is 1 block farther than the matter mover. So the laser, that's going to go there. The matter mover is going to go there. And that should be as far as it goes. It shouldn't need to go... I shouldn't need... I don't need another laser to come hit this area because this is the end of the line, right? So, sorry about all the doors. I know I'm working in like a very door-heavy area. So there's that. Now, where it gets interesting is when I go to split off right here because the power is going to be offset from the matter movers. So I need to hit the hopper because I need it to... Like, normally you can just link matter movers and it's not a big deal. But I need the hopper to hit the hopper because the hopper is what's going to transport the stuff into the missiles above there. So, let me think here. I need to make sure that I'm, like, roughly in line. Right? So, like, how does that look? That is good that way. Let me go down here. It's not super, super important that I come straight up from here. It just makes it a lot easier, right? So that is lined up that way. And that is lined up that way. Okay. So from here, you know, this is where I have my options, right? If I do a hopper, let's just say, boom, hopper, right? And then I do a matter mover. That should hit where I need to go. Now, the only issue... Well, no, it is an issue, right? The only issue is if I were to throw that down... Does this even reach? Does that reach? That should reach. Okay. So, right here... Right there needs to be a hopper, right? And then on each side, let me just kind of do this number, right? Then on each side, I need matter movers. That should hit that no problem, but I need power. You know, I need to... well, I guess I could do something like this. It's kind of gross, and I'm not the biggest fan of it, but... If it works, right? If it works, it works. We did something similar over here. Well, I guess we didn't do something similar. This is what I would have loved to emulate, but there's a lot of stuff running on these levels that I don't want to have to dodge, you know? So actually, I think that'll be fine. Yeah, I think that'll work just fine for what we're doing. So... Let's go ahead and follow this down. Oh, you know what? This is where it gets a little tricky because by having the power transmission on the outside, we're going to... It puts these... It puts... This is going to go into a battery, right? So when that goes into a battery, the battery is going to be offset from the matter mover. So let me think. And what makes it interesting, right, is that the matter movers are on a different vertical plane and a different horizontal plane, right? So I might have to just do something gross, like a 2 battery thing. Maybe not. Let's kind of... Here, let me do this, in fact. Let me try this. For... This one is fine. That one, it just is what it is, right? But for this one, I'm going to try to kind of emulate what I've already got going, right? So I'm going to do something like this. That way, it makes it way easier to actually run. Oh, I hope that doesn't get in the way. That's something else I didn't really consider. Oh, no. Oh, wait. No, that's fine. That's fine. It's fine. That's what we want. Right? So we need to do this. And then we need to do this. Right? We have to go that way. Which means we have to hit this. So this is the only issue right here in the middle. You know what? I think I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go back to what I had. And I'm just going to have it offset. And then I'll just have a little 2 battery bank. You know, just like somewhere arbitrarily in the middle. I'm just using this top one for spacing. I'll have to do something like that. We can still run this that way. But the matter mover will have to sit up here. In fact, yeah, that's how it's going to have to work. Which isn't a huge deal. It just... You know, it's just the fact of life, right? So then we can bring up our glass again. Throw that on. And if our other stuff is any indication, this shouldn't be too far. We should be able to hit this pretty easily, right? So let's throw our hopper down. And we just kind of go, you know, one less than where we need to go. Throw a battery, and then throw a matter mover. I think that's all we need. I think that's all done. Like, everything's wired up, for lack of a better term. But we still need to get stuff up to here, and we still need to get power into here. So I think I'm going to do something like this, just so we have options for getting power into there. But where the power is going to come from is undecided. How's that? Perfect. Okay. So that's working. That's working. Let me think here. One option is we clear these holes up here. You know, that hole. Throw some solar panels just right on top. That's an option. Or organic. Do I have any organics? Like, but I don't think that's going to be enough power for the whole system. No, it doesn't look like I have any organic solar panels. Unless you guys see some and you're just yelling at me. So, we need to get power from another source. And I'm kind of looking at these guys right here. Yeah, I'm really looking at this guy right here. Do I have like a clear path? What if I did something like this? Something like that. How does that look? Not great. Can I transmit power from here? If I throw a battery at the other end here, is that going to start getting filled? Literally just testing here. So it does fill. Interesting. Okay, okay. Well, given that information, I'm going to just arbitrarily go up right here. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, right there. And then I'm going to go up. Right? And then I need to come down 2 layers. Or I need to go over also. Right? 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. And then over this way. How does that work? Are you good? Perfect. Okay, and then I'm going to also put a lens on this whole system just to make sure that everything is going. And I saw movement, so I think stuff's already starting to get distributed. Let's see. Have any of these moved? Have you matter moved? Nothing. Nothing. Oh, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. We've got missiles, at least in this part, and they're going over here. 10 missiles. But it's going to take a little bit for the system to get all the power it needs into it. Have you moved anything? What do you look like? Do you have missiles? No. It should have missiles, though. It should have missiles very soon. That's got power. Come on. I just want to see missiles. Just make me feel good about what I'm doing. There we go. 10 plasma imbued missiles. Okay. That is super exciting. Actually, now that I know those are there, I want to go check the far corner too. All right. And I just saw the transfer. So we are at the farthest corner, the one where we first started, and there are 10 plasma imbued missiles. So now we need to make sure that those missiles can get to the launchers. So let me just skedaddle on out here. And I see that flashing, which means that I have a research crate. The Hodar's been doing work for me, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get that. Free research points. Research parts, excuse me. So if we look at kind of what I got, where are they? I've got 3 research parts. So that's like 15 free research points. And oh man, this is looking so much better now that I know that these are going to work. Okay, so I've only got 1 turntable. So we're going to kind of make this thing work, right? So I'm just going to do something like, well, you know what? I can just use glass, right? Put some glass down. Throw that up there. Ooh, I almost did something bad. Okay, let's do this. And then we will throw ye olde. Do I have it on a hotbar? I do. The turntable. We will throw some more glass down. Like so. And then we will throw, boom, boom. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, we have missiles. We have missiles right here. They might even be getting ready to fire soon. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. But we got missiles. Oh man, that's super exciting. Oh, do they see? Do they see? Are they locking on? Yes. Where are you going? Yes. And what's so nice is that these are mutually supporting missile launchers. The range on them is so big that any one corner is going to be able to get help from 2 other corners. Maybe even the far side. I don't know. But you can see, I saw explosions going off, you guys. Oh man. This is super exciting. And they're being automatically fed. I'm going to get the rest of these hooked up. And then I'll bring you guys back real quick so you can kind of see how everything's working out. All right, you guys, you can see there's missiles just flying everywhere. They're launching, they're hitting all the stuff, and we are decimating these waves now. Like, I don't even think I think this might have just been what we need. Now, there are a few things that we need to take into account and make sure that we're, paying attention to. Number 1, our missile supply. I don't know. It seems like we're getting through them. Like we're launching missiles, you guys. They are going, right? So, I mean, obviously we have plenty, but we've already used, 80, 70. So, again, something to take into consideration. Number 2, are we able to supply everything? It looks like we are. Like I see, it looks like our power, the closer to the source, the batteries closer to the source are going to drain the fastest because, I've used this analogy before, but the power in this game kind of flows like water, with the farthest stuff down the line getting more flow of power first, right? So it flows to the lowest or farthest point, and then it'll kind of back up here, right? So the fact that these are full means we're getting plenty of power, and the system's fine, and it looks like everything seems to be moving pretty well. I don't think we're getting, we're obviously producing enough. So worst case scenario. So let's plan here, right? Worst case scenario, I could always try to expand this line, all these lines if I had to. I don't foresee that now, but, you know, it's something that we got to take into account. And, oh my gosh, you guys. So many missiles. You could just see the explosions going. You could just see them. We got Spider Bro working. I think we're killing things before they even get close to us. So something else we're going to need to do. You see that we already so many parts way farther than we can actually get to. So that is something we're going to need to take into account. We're going to need to add more beacons, and I think the amount of Falcors we have is okay because they mutually support each other, but the amount of beacons is probably insufficient. But I cannot tell you guys how exciting this is that we finally have automatically distributed missiles. And like I was saying before, if it really came down to it, we could expand this, you know, out in this direction and add more missile launchers. I have, where are they? Missile launchers, 32. There you go. So that's enough for 8 more on each corner, just for some context there. So, man, I didn't, you know, I'm still kind of in shock that we even got this done. So let's look to the future about what we have yet to finish. I need to put these towers here, the cosmetic portion. I need to put towers back here and kind of make a big old wall back here, because this is going to be a death trap back here. Because there's going to be, what did I say, like 38 turbines worth of stuff blowing out the back there. So that's just something to take into account. I need to up the amount of exceptional lenses I have as well, because once we start powering this thing on, we're going to need, you know, 1, 2, 3, you know, like 3 lenses per set here. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, you know, we're going to need a lot. And whatever we need to transmit all the power, we're going to have to double it, because we're going to have to bounce it up into here. So the other thing to take into account is laser energy transmitters. I'm going to need a bunch of laser energy transmitters. So I'll probably have to do a lot of that stuff in between episodes. And it looks like we're getting attacked from over here now. Easy day. But again, these missiles are... Their purpose is to kind of push the kill envelope out. The turrets are more than capable of cleaning up anything that can squeak by. So on the off chance that we run out of missiles, hypothetically speaking, the turrets are going to be more than capable of making up for that. So again, pretty excited. Oh yeah, one other thing I want to check. I want to see how our resin farm is farming. How is that looking? Because should we need to... Oh, we're keeping up plenty. Again, it looks like the bottleneck we have here is in this part. We can produce the resin fast enough, but we're not making it into refined liquid resin fast enough. But you know what? We have plenty of stockpile. In fact, we have more than we need. In fact, what? Are we good? Are we not? Yeah, you know what? I think we're actually just okay. How's this looking? This is like forever stopped. I added in a couple buffers over here for the actual iron bars, and they're just filling up so quick. I added in the buffers here because, you know, 1 iron bar is going to be 2 ore, so having these here doesn't really make sense, but we got it anyway, so it just kind of is what it is. And did we just get another research pod, or is that... We did. Look at that, guys. Look at that. And it blew a hole right through my floor. That's 2 research pods in 1 episode. Look at that. Alright, guys. So I think on this note, I'm going to call it an episode. I'm pretty excited for what we got accomplished. This might end up being a shorter video. I'm not 100% sure how it's going to edit out. But we didn't do too much work off camera. So, yeah. So anyway, thanks a lot for hanging out with me, guys. I appreciate all the support. Like I said, we're over 200 subscribers, on our way to 250, 300, you know, just growing the channel. And again, I cannot thank you guys enough. So hopefully you guys enjoy this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy everything else that's going on. And with that, guys, we'll see you in the next one.